Just as you're about to drink.
All right.
Hello.
Oh, welcome to Beardwags number 10.
Have a sip of your Pepsi
Cheers.
and then we can
Thank
get
you.
started. Just one big swig.
I didn't think you were going to press record right now.
No,
So I was going to
well,
take
I was
a drink.
thinking I'd just press it and then we'd start when you were ready, but
Oh, fair enough.
I'd never seen you look so scared in your life. It is a big spider. My cat's chasing something and we were like, what's that? And Steve was like, maybe it's a big fucking rat.
Yeah.
But it's just a spider.
Yep.
We made it.
10. Technically 11, actually.
Yeah.
But in terms of numbers, it's like in comics when they do the giant-sized annual. That's what we can call this. Beardwags 10. Giant-sized
anal.
No.
Why?
Why?
We both have the same question.
Why do we need to make that joke?
I don't know. I just want your approval.
It's going to be a hard one, I'm afraid.
You've had your... Oh, whoops. You've had your Coke. I'm going to have some gin and tonic.
Yeah. 3 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon. Why not?
It makes the pain.
That's the
numb.
third of the day, isn't it?
Hmm.
You had some with your breakfast.
Yeah. I had some actually ready by my bed when I woke up.
Yeah, when you were climbing, you didn't have a water bottle. You just had a big bottle of gin.
Yeah. Just pour gin on my head.
Sorry,
to cool
instructor, I just need a swig.
Well, it's a really nice day as well, and we're stuck inside.
I know, it's lovely. Well, we're going out later, right? We can
To
head
the
over-
cinema.
We could go over early and have a wander in Chichester.
We could. Anyway, what's new? How are you?
I'm not too bad. How are you?
Fine, yeah.
You went on holiday.
I went. Well, yeah. We've got some stuff to catch up on.
Yep.
But we've got an email.
An email. Yeah. Well, we've got a couple, but only one of them asks a question.
Yeah.
I just want to say we'll say now to the dude that that wanted the book. We are going to send it to you, but obviously Alex has been away and we haven't done it yet. So we are going to send it to you.
We haven't had the time to do some when we meet up about the podcast. It's been full recording.
Yeah.
So we haven't had any admin time yet.
No. So
but it's on our priority
we'll
list.
sort it out. Also, you're getting a free book, so fucking
stop whining.
Hold your horses, bitch.
He's not whining anyway.
He's not. So the one email we've got is, it says, if you would like, I could ask a random question for every podcast, which is fine.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's
I mean, we
nice.
might not always answer it, but
It'd be nice to have it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
kind of you to offer to do that for us.
Here's the it comes from Harry Clay.
Is he the dude who won the book?
No, I don't think so. Is it? No. Oh, if it is, it's that dude anyway.
Good point.
It's one of them. I don't think so. I'm sure it's some other fucker, to be honest. But if it's him, sorry.
We're getting confused with our
With our
fandom.
with our many listeners. Harry Clay, he says, imagine you both have a brainwashing machine. I don't know why we both need one. We could just have one.
We could
one
have
and
the
share
same
it.
one.
We can share.
Yeah, I mean, try and be economical about it.
Fuck you, Clay. It says, but you can only use it once. Oh, that's why we both need one.
Fuck,
Oh,
no.
he's smarter
Egg
than
on our
us.
face.
You'd have thought I'd have read ahead. He says, you can only use it once on one person. Who would you use it on, and what would you make them do?
Interesting.
I'm guessing by brainwashing means like control machine rather than just make them forget something.
Yeah. Like, so you had control of that person to make them do one thing.
Yeah.
You go first.
No, you go first. I want to hear what you want to say.
Okay. I don't know, because there's the part of you that wants to do something on a humanitarian level.
Make David Cameron retire?
Or even just make him
Make
see
him
from the point of view of a working class.
Make him get a gun,
Britain.
kill all the other conservatives.
Oh, snap. This is a political podcast. Rise up. Riot.
Yeah.
We've got our 6 fans will be like, yeah, Steve and Alex told us to.
All those riots that happened, that was us, wasn't it?
Yeah, we orchestrated that.
We have the
Who's
power.
that twat who, like, didn't he piss on a memorial or something?
Yeah, I mean, no, it was graffiti, wasn't it?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
someone tried to do some graffiti or something.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah.
Listen, it's going to be fine. But what I'd
You
do,
see
yeah,
with
so
me.
part of me would say...
Make him work at McDonald's for a day.
yeah, and then we could watch it.
Give him a
It'll be such
fucking
good Channel
0-hour contract
Yeah.
and see how he likes it.
It'll be such a good Channel 4 documentary. I think his main priority now is to win over... Well, he's not going to win over anyone who didn't vote for him, but at least pump some security into them. like just make people feel like he's not just going to completely abandon the
Yeah.
many people that didn't vote for a Conservative
The
government.
only problem is that the day after he got re-elected, they were talking about benefit cuts for the disabled. So I don't think he's going to win anyone over.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
straight into it.
yeah. No fucking around.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're in a wheelchair. Fuck off.
Anyway, who would I
digress.
control with the brainwash machine? I want to say like J.J. Abrams or like Joss Whedon or just a big director, and brainwash them to say, "Oh, I want to give this script writing opportunity to Alex for the next," and then give me like a brief for the next big
Well, what about?
flick they were doing,
What,
and then it would like get me my big break.
yeah.
So it would still feel earned because I'd still have to write a good script, but it's like,
See, my thing was going to benefit the both of us. So
Oh,
you're
okay.
just like, fuck
Well,
Steve,
no,
I'm off on my own.
and I'd say, oh, and also Steve has to come too.
Do what?
Like you can just like hang out in my trailer.
Oh, here we go. I'm not good enough to help you write a,
Oh no,
a
you can.
superhero script.
But we'd probably fall out if we wrote something together.
You think?
Well, I don't know. I've never really written with anyone before.
You're a script writer, but I've got the superhero knowledge.
You have the knowledge.
So if we were writing a comic book movie, I think we'd have to work together.
I
don't
think we'd
we'd
both
fall out.
Well, I hope not. I mean, I don't mean like that personally. I think I'd just fall out with anyone that I had to co-write with.
Yeah, I can imagine it'd be hard. I mean, eventually, I guess you'll have to write with people.
Yeah. Well, what was your thing going to be?
What control?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd probably just take some really big person and make them talk about beard wax for a whole day until everyone was listening
Oh
to
shit,
it.
that's a good idea. Why didn't I think of that?
I was going to be really diplomatic and be like, I wouldn't want to control that kind of power.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I hate that when you're playing those hypothetical games.
More likely, I'd
And-
probably just use it to like control one of my enemies and make him like pull his cock out in a school and have a wank or something.
Maybe
One of my many enemies that I've made over the years.
your arch nemesis,
Yeah.
who absolutely flat out refuses to get his stick out in school.
At high school, I did actually have an arch enemy.
I thought you were going to say at high school I did actually get my cock out.
Probably once or twice.
Who was your arch enemy?
Oh,
Was he called like Eve Blight or something? It was like,
no, he was called Dolhan Glynn.
oh, that is such a Welsh name.
Yeah, he, my buddy Tom. I know he listens to this. Tom from Wales, Tom Wright. I think he listens anyway. If he doesn't, fuck him. If he does, all right, Tom, you skinny crackhead. We used to like that. We'll have to dedicate a podcast to it one day, I reckon. But this whole fight broke out between the English and the Welshes. The Welshes.
The Welshes.
the
the Wales-ish.
The Englishmans and the Welshmans, and we basically beat each other up with sticks.
Whoa.
And
Why?
me and Tom
Was it just a big race war?
It basically was, yeah. I think it ended when Stevie X gave a big speech about.
Stevie X, as in you.
Yeah. No, I don't know how it started out with a bunch of us friends just messing around, like fighting with swords, like stick fighting.
Yeah.
Like, I've got a lightsaber or the Master Sword or some
Yeah.
shit, And then some Welsh people started getting involved, and it went from there, and we ended up like fucking hitting each other with
Jesus.
sticks. The teachers just didn't care.
No.
And this guy was part of that, and we'd never really liked each other. And I might be over exaggerating, but to me, he will always look like a fetus. He had a really big head, and when he ran, and this isn't exaggeration, when he ran, it tilted back, so he ran with his head back.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't.
It
It
sounds
wasn't
like a cartoon. I mean, this is an audible medium, but you didn't just see the impression Steve did. It was amazing.
Maybe we'll make a video of
Yeah.
it.
Just you like this.
Yeah. So and I remember one time he was like wailing on me, and my friend Tom like smashed him over the face with a stick or something,
Good.
and like broke
Nice
his
one,
nose
Tom.
or some shit. But
Fucking
yeah,
fetus
he was
boy.
my arch nemesis. The last ever time I saw him, I was visiting Wales. This was I'd only been in Worthing maybe a year, and I was back up on holiday, and he was on a bus, and he stuck his middle finger at me.
What did you
So
do?
I chased the bus with my head thrown back, like he runs.
Did you actually?
Yeah.
And he knew you were doing an impression
Yeah,
of him.
because that's the impression I used to do at high school. And we hadn't been in high school for like 4 years, and he still had a problem.
What a loser. What's he up to now? Do you know?
Fuck knows. Who cares?
Probably in a ditch somewhere.
Yeah, his head probably got too big, and like last time
His
he ran,
head
his
fell
back
back in the
broke.
net.
Yeah.
He could never bring it forward again.
All the king's horses and all the king's men just couldn't put him
Couldn't
back
lift his
together again.
fetus head back up again.
I'd probably just brainwash some celebrity and get them to talk about our podcast.
Mm.
That, or just like go into Tesco's and be like, I can't afford the food shop this week, so I'm going to steal it.
I'm glad none of us said, yeah, like, oh, who was that chef who went into Tesco and nicked stuff?
Wasn't it?
Anthony
Anthony
Laura
Laura
Thompson,
Thompson,
yeah.
yeah.
Because it wasn't even valuable stuff. He's like, I don't know, man, I just love stealing.
Yeah. What's it called? Kleptomaniac.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was that. I'm glad none of us said, oh, I'd brainwash a really sexy woman to have sex with me.
I've already got a really sexy woman that I've brainwashed.
Yeah, me too.
I've ground her down over the years, and now she's subservient.
Wow. It's what other people call a relationship. You've just summed up quite well. That's what we'd do. I would benefit mostly me, and Steve would benefit the both of us.
Yeah, I like the question. Do you remember? Have you ever seen the Evening with Kevin Smith DVDs?
Yes.
On the first one, because the first one isn't like whole shows; it's just clips from different shows. And the first ever one he did in London, some guy stands up and goes, "If you could be half man or half sausage, which half would you be?"
What's his answer?
I can't remember. I think he's like the top half, so he can still use his dick.
Oh, yeah.
That would be my answer.
Top half. But how could you use your dick? 'Cause you don't have arms.
You can have sex without your arms.
Oh, yeah. That's true. But you couldn't see.
That's a good point. But you could feel it. You don't
Okay,
need,
yeah,
you don't
no,
need to
that's
see
true.
your
You just-
sex.
Yeah. You'd be walking around like a blind, deaf, armless sausage top
My
half.
my concern is people would probably end up eating you.
Yeah.
Like-
Sausage is delicious.
Like that episode of Homer.
Hey, have you seen Homer and the Simpsons?
That episode of Homer and the Simpsons where he sells his soul for a donut.
Yeah.
He just keeps eating himself.
And what about is that the same episode where he goes to hell and they feed him loads of donuts?
I'm not
And
sure.
he just keeps going.
I think it might be.
I remember watching it and thinking that there's no way that anyone could eat that quickly, like without remembering that it was a cartoon.
It's funny when you watch cartoons and you say stuff like that. Ali does it all the time. She's like, well, that could never happen.
It's a cartoon.
Yeah. It's like when we're watching superhero movies, she's like, that could never happen. I'm like, yeah, because Thor and the Hulk are happening.
Yeah, yeah. And that J.K. Rowling tweet you showed
Shall
me
I read
before,
it? 'Cause
that's
I've
the
got-
best thing I've ever heard.
I saw it earlier. I follow her on Twitter because I think she's a very clever
Shout
lady.
out to J.K. We're both huge Potter fans.
Someone tweeted her and said, snakes are deaf, but Harry can talk to them and hear them. How is it possible? Her reply, one word, magic.
Yeah, perfect.
It is just perfect. It's the best answer ever. It's like,
It's a bit of a fuck you, but also, come on, dude. The whole story is about magic.
yeah. Oh, snakes are deaf in the real world.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Remember those Horcruxes that we have to hunt down?
Yeah. Fucking hell.
Do you remember the really crackly first episode we recorded that we never released that was all about Harry Potter?
We should do...
Maybe we should re-record it sometime because
Okay.
we talked about some good stuff.
We've got a lot of thoughts about Harry Potter.
We have.
I almost bought a Harry Potter t-shirt this morning. That is such a boring story.
What was on
I
the
always
t-shirt?
tell
though?
stories where I almost do something.
But what was on the t-shirt?
It was from Feisties, and it was like just Hogwarts,
Oh,
the
I've
best
seen
school
that.
of witchcraft. and magic.
See, I've got the Hogwarts crest on a t-shirt.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I want a Hufflepuff crest
Do you?
because at work my screensaver is the Hufflepuff
I
crest.
could only get the actual school one. You can't get individual
No.
ones because I quite like a Slytherin one, I think.
Would you be a Slytherin? Do you think?
I reckon I'd probably end up in Ravenclaw because
Yeah,
I'm just
you
super
read
smart.
a lot.
I'm joking.
No, I think you would. You're quite studious.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, but Slytherin fascinates me because of all the dark history.
You
and
are
stuff.
wearing green, and I'm not wearing yellow.
I'm actually.
What's blue? Oh, blue is Ravenclaw.
I'm actually no, they're red, aren't they? No, it is blue, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm actually representing Final Fantasy IX today,
Yeah.
which is the best Final Fantasy game. Controversial, maybe to some.
I've never played it.
Some fucking Final Fantasy VII nerds who like jizz all over it.
They're going to be listening like, hey. And
You should buy 7 on Steam sometime if it's on sale because it is well worth a punt.
I think
or
I
if
might.
they put it on PS4. Actually, no, they are. They're doing they're re-releasing the PC version, but on PS4 later this year.
cool. Okay,
It's worth a try.
I'll check it.
I would.
So we finished that email.
Yeah, that was it. Really,
That was. We do answer things in quite a roundabout way, don't we?
it just
It's fun.
leads us off to
I enjoy
tangents.
Hey, everyone, send us questions of random things that hypothetical or real that
Yeah.
you think we could answer.
Or like if you got a problem, like your lady's messing you about. I'm good with the relationships.
Your lady's messing you about.
Dear Deirdre and the sun, like
You just said that you ground down your girlfriend until she was subservient.
I think we both know that she's in charge.
Yeah. I remember we were playing Settlers of Catan the other night, and you were putting down the resource cards, and you put one on the wrong pile, and she was like, ah, like found it hilarious because you'd done something slightly wrong. She's great. Anyway, catch-up time.
Yeah.
Do you want to know what I've been up to?
Yeah, please.
So the week after we last recorded, I went to the Emerald Isle.
Awesome.
Which is, as you know, Scotland.
Yes.
No, just kidding. It's Ireland, and I went there with my girlfriend and my family. A lot of my mum's family live over there.
Sweet.
We went to this little island off the west coast of County Mayo. So the only coast of County Mayo.
I think one of my friends' mum lives in County Mayo. Shout out to Kim. She doesn't listen to this, I don't think.
Oh, you should.
But she's a student. She's at uni and she's got she had to write a 14-page dissertation.
Jesus.
She's been busy.
Oh, okay.
She was like, I'll listen to your podcast when I'm not busy. I was like, when are you ever not busy, Kim?
Yeah, and now you're not speaking anymore.
Yeah.
Well, let us know where in Mayo, because we went to, we flew to Knock and then drove sort of west to this little island called Achill.
Oh, yeah.
Which is sort of been in my family a long time, because my grandma, in the summer, the family, they lived in Limerick, but they would have like a summer house that they'd live in, that they'd go and spend in Achill, and that seems to be the norm. A lot of people in Ireland have like a city place and then an out in the country place. It's like similar to what they do in Moscow.
It's all right for the Irish, isn't it?
Yeah,
hell.
yeah.
Potato famine obviously wasn't that bad.
Oh God, I really hope no Irish people hear that. Potato famine wasn't that bad. Steve White, 2015.
It'll be on my tombstone.
Yeah. Just that one issue you're really persistent about is that they were whiny bitches. But yeah, so what would happen is in the summer they'd pack up everything, including the cat. And this is when my gran was little, and they'd go to this island where they had this house that was locked up for the winter.
Sweet.
And they would open it up, and my gran's mum would like set up tables and stuff in the living room area and make cakes and do teas and coffees in the kitchen and like open it up to visitors to come and like buy cakes and tea and coffee.
Oh, wow.
So that's how they made their money to spend the summer there, by like opening up a summer business.
Did they have a business license? Because that sounds like a very sort of...
Well, no, you didn't need one apparently. Like they just...
I'm calling the police.
This was like, I don't know, 60 years ago.
It's like when you're a kid, like in American shows, they make lemonade, you know.
Yeah. They make a lemonade.
They make the lemonade.
But it was really nice. I hadn't been there in about 4 or 5 years. So to see some old family members again.
That's
and
sweet.
There's so many sheep there. And lambs as well, which were cute. I saw sharks.
Oh, wow.
We went down to this bay, and there were like seagulls flocking around this sea area, and we were looking out, and we were going, oh, I wonder what they're doing. And then we saw these 2 shark fins. I don't know what kind of sharks they were, probably basking sharks or something. But I think the sharks were feeding on a school of fish, and then the seagulls were like catching the dead bits that floated up to the top. It was really cool.
Baskin and Robin sharks.
Baskin and Robin. Why?
It's ice cream, isn't it?
Oh, right.
Come
I
on.
thought you... in my head, I was trying to, like, Baskin and Robin, Batman and Robin, like I thought, because Baskin sounds a little bit like Batman.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I saw a seal.
Yeah, you see a lot of seals off of around that sort of area.
Charlie was like, oh, I really hope I see a seal. And I saw a seal. I was like, Charlie, come quick. And she came round to see, and the seal had gone. So I stole her dream from her.
Fuck you, Charlie.
Yeah. Serves you right.
Yeah, you see a lot off the coast of Wales as well. You see seals.
I love them. They're cute. I don't know what kind of seals they
I
are.
club them.
Do you?
Hey, where's she going?
She's got a big thing of shears.
Oh, she's cutting back the wild garlic in our garden.
Is she?
She's not looking.
No.
Dozy bitch.
Poor Ali. I wonder if she's seen the baby foxes.
They probably wouldn't come out if you were out there.
We have such a middle-class life, don't we?
Well,
cutting back the wild garlic and looking at the baby foxes.
I'm not middle class, let me tell you.
We are.
Says the guy about to pick up his
gin and tonic. I think I am a posh influence on you.
Probably, yeah, a little bit. I feel slightly,
I've even got a lime in my gin and tonic.
Yeah, I was just looking at that going, oh, maybe I should have had a glass of Pepsi because I could have had lime in it.
Well, you can.
Get one after, it's fine.
Okay, good, because I'm fucking getting it for you. No, I will. That's terrible. Of course I will. You're my guest. You're a guest in my home.
Yeah.
So we went to Ireland for a week, came back, and on the flight back,
What?
saw Chris O'Dowd
Oh.
with Dawn O'Porter.
Yep.
As she now calls herself, which is pretty cool, I think.
Yeah, sort of taking on the name a little
yeah.
bit, yeah.
And their baby, who I think is called Art.
Art, like
Yeah,
A-R-T?
I think so.
Like Art Garfunkel?
I may have made that up,
Okay.
but
Imagine if you did and it was just something like Paul.
it was. Hi, I'm Paul the baby. Nice to meet you. No, and I saw them, and my aunt. We were at the airport. My auntie came over. She was like, "Oh, I've just seen that Irish comedian," and I was like, thinking in my head, David O'Doherty.
Oh, yeah.
And then
He's pretty funny.
Yeah, he is. And then went over and realised she meant Irish actor.
Yeah. Well, Chris O'Dowd would
O'Dowd.
probably count.
Yeah,
As I mean, he doesn't do
mean,
stand-up, but...
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have classed him in that category, which is why I didn't think it would be him.
Well, he's more of a movie star, though, isn't he? He's in, like, everything.
He is. And that Moon Boy thing, which I haven't watched.
No, I've still
Meant
not
to be
watched it.
quite
Apparently, one of my good friends, Paddy, his family are all Irish.
Oh, yeah.
You know, when I said Paddy, that probably gave it away. Patrick. And apparently, his mum loves it.
Really?
They sit as a family and watch it. Apparently,
That's
they
cool.
love it.
Okay, I'm going to check it out.
Yeah, I've heard good things. I'll have to watch it.
I think my gran watches it. She was on the flight as well. Sod's Law, we were sat right at the back. I was like, I want to see Chris O'Dowd. We sat at the back of the plane. He was at the front. My mum and gran were in the two seats behind him.
Oh, really?
And they were like, I looked over and my mum and gran, my mum was talking to him. My gran was playing with the baby. I was like, oh man, I want to do that. But
so you walked over and went, do you mind if I play with your baby?
Yeah, can I play with your baby, Chris O'Dowd? So no, to be honest though, I was just I had to get up to go for a wee mid-flight, and I did. And I got out the toilet, and Dawn Porter was there, and I was like, oh, and I didn't know what to say because she had the baby. I didn't want to say, oh, I'm a big fan right there because,
yeah,
like,
you always want to act cool when you see, you don't want to be like,
I love you, please sign this.
Well,
like,
I don't really know
them.
what Dawn Porter very much. Like, I know she's a journalist and model or fashion journalism and stuff, but I don't really follow what she does, which is my bad. But I know who she is, and it's cool to see someone famous.
Yeah.
But she had her baby, and I think she was going to change it, and I just kind of let her in. Went back, but then they had the tray with all the drinks coming through.
Yeah.
So I had to step in, and just Sod's Law
Stepped
in
into
to Chris O'Dowd's thing. I was like, oh, sorry. And then he looked up and smiled at me, and I was like, by the way, I'm a big fan, just had to say it. And he was like, oh, thanks very much. And that was like, it was just really nice and friendly.
Yeah, it's cool.
I didn't want to ask for a picture because I always feel like that's a bit...
Yeah, I mean,
don't need a picture. Like,
if you're at an event where they're doing a signing or something, like me and my girlfriend saw David Mitchell, because we got you the signed book and everything.
Yeah.
He was already doing an event, so I didn't feel bad saying, "Do you mind
It's
if I
his
take
job.
a picture?" Because you're signing stuff. But if I bumped into him into the street, like they're on a flight, he's with his family. That's understandable. I saw the I forget the actor's name, but the guy that played the Weasley father in Harry Potter and in the Fast Show.
Yeah.
And he was with his kids. And as I was walking past, I just said, "Oh, I'm a big fan," and he said, "Thank you." But I didn't want to be like,
No.
"Oh, you're with your family. I don't want to disturb you."
It's the equivalent of like if you work in a bank.
Yeah.
And then on a Saturday where you're not at work, you see like a client and they come up and say, oh, can you do some banking for me really quickly?
You'd be surprised how often that happened when I worked at T-Mobile, though. Like, in town, people like, oh, you work at T-Mobile, can you help me?
Really?
Do I look like I'm working right now?
Celebrity status?
Not long after I'd finished working there, some woman came up to me. I say came up to me, one of these really fat people that uses a scooter, like a mobility scooter.
No way.
She's just fucking too lazy to walk. And I'm not saying that, I'm not assuming, I know she is because I've seen her walk in.
Yeah.
And she scooted up to me and went, oh, there's a problem with my phone. And I just looked at her and went, fuck off.
Did you?
Yeah, and just walked off because she gave me so much grief when I worked there.
Not a nice person.
No. But the celebrity thing, you're right. It was cool to say to him, I'm a big fan, and I'm sure he appreciates it, but not like taking photos when he's with his family.
And, you know, we saw him again in the baggage collection bit. He had the baby strapped to his front. He had his sunglasses on. He made being a father look cool if it wasn't already.
Yeah.
And then he was there and he was like holding on to the baby, trying to keep it happy, was looking for the bags. And I thought the last thing he'd want is someone coming up and saying, oh, can I have a selfie?
Yeah, this is why you hear stories in the news sometimes where people are like, oh, so-and-so was a bit of a dick. And it's normally when they're trying to
they
do
don't get
something.
exactly what they want.
It's people, a celebrity trying to do something, and you go up to them and say, "Can I take a photo?" And it's quite obvious they're in the middle of something.
Yeah.
I've bumped into a few people here and there and
You
sort of
have,
said
yeah.
hello, but I would never, unless they're at
Never put them out of their own.
no, if
comfort
they're
zone.
if they're at an event like I said, the signing, like the lead singer of Coheed did a signing once, so I got to spend a bit of time and chat to him, but that was because he was there doing that.
Doing the thing.
Although actually, one of the nights that got cancelled, he came out and hung out, so that was pretty cool too.
Cool, man.
Yeah, Chris O'Dowd's awesome.
It made my holiday. It was a really good sort of sign off to the holiday. I'm a big fan of the IT crowd, and
Oh yeah,
him as an actor, I think, is good. He was cool in Thor 2. His little,
yeah.
you definitely felt sorry for him.
What else is he in? What did I watch recently? Oh,
Bridesmaids.
no, this is 40.
Yes,
Yeah, he's in that. He works with Paul Rudd's character in the record.
that is a really sad film.
It's quite depressing.
It
isn't
is it's meant to be like a bit of a rom-com, I think, but then it's kind of actually
So
a bit of a
it's
sad drama.
yeah, a bit more of a drama for
I
Judd
quite like
Apatow.
it. It's quite good.
Yeah, we saw it at the cinema. I really liked it.
Mm.
I just like Paul Rudd. I have a list of actors who I think I'd like them to be my mate, like go for a drink with them, and I'd put Paul Rudd and Chris O'Dowd on that.
Together.
Yeah. And Lena Dunham. I really like Lena Dunham too. I want
do you
her to be my
reckon?
friend. Yeah.
Now, I like Lena Dunham as a writer and as an actor, but do you not feel like she would act a bit superior?
I've got nothing to suggest that she would.
I don't know. I think that.
I mean, it's possible.
I mean, I mean, I've just based on I don't know her in anything other than Girls, I guess.
Yeah.
So, but I feel like from some of the tweets I read of hers,
Oh, okay.
she
Yeah,
seems
yeah.
like, I'm sure she seems nice, but she also seems like one of these intelligent people who maybe knows that they're intelligent as well. I'm not saying she's a dick, but I think that
Well, that's fine. Me and her would have something in common then.
yeah. And I'll just be sat on my own with you guys and your cool new entourage of celebrities.
Yeah.
It'll be me and fucking that woman on the scooter.
When we're recording,
My
I'll
phone's broken,
I'll be like,
Steve.
Alex, I'm popping round to record. Here's with my entourage, and they'll
Yeah.
just come in and sit on the sofas and watch us record.
Like in Community when the chicken
yeah.
episode where Pierce gets an entourage. I love
They'd
Community.
just be sat over there, like every time you say something, tutting. Like,
Yeah, or cheering you. Way!
that would be so fun.
So, Chris O'Dowd was a good sign-off to the island trip.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And I got back a week ago today, actually.
Nice,
Since I touched down on the ground, I've been eating healthily,
cool,
which I'm feeling a lot better for.
good.
I'm, with the exception of yesterday and Friday, because I had Chinese on Friday night
Yeah,
when we went out for dinner, and on Saturday I had, well, I guess it was all right, but I had a Weetabix for breakfast and half a pizza for lunch. Half a small pizza, though, because it was at this paintballing thing, which I'm going to tell you about next. And then we got back and went to the pub. I had 3 beers, and we had, like, just loads of food.
yeah.
But I didn't get, like, a big burger and chips. We had, like, a cured meat platter and some cheese and some squid. So it was, like... And there was a lot of salad with it, so I wasn't, like, stuffing my face with chips and bread and stuff.
You're allowed days where you eat stuff. It's not.
I think so.
If
You've got
gonna-
to enjoy yourself
Yeah,
as
you
well.
can't spend 7 days a week being like, super health person.
I think I found the perfect medium between eating healthily and enjoying yourself, which is I'm at work, I have a bit of a stricter regime with not stuffing my face with shit stuff. At the weekend, enjoy the stuff that is not good for me, but make sure I don't
Go
just
overboard.
go overboard.
See, I just stick to my plan all the time, knowing that if we get invited out for dinner, then I wouldn't have a problem, going out for something that's maybe not as good for you because I've been good all the other times.
You need to reward yourself. It actually inspires you to stick to the being good because it means that you can give yourself a reward every now and then.
Yeah.
But the pizza, I went paintballing yesterday,
Yeah.
which I've already told you about.
On the weight thing, before you jump over though,
Yes.
have you lost any weight?
I think
are you
I have.
actually recording it?
I'm
or-
not recording the weight loss, but I feel leaner and I think I look a bit...
You do look good.
Oh, thanks, baby. It's working. I'm not doing it to get skinny, I'm doing it to feel better.
Yeah,
We
that's
keep
fair.
talking about weight loss. This is going to become a Weight Watchers podcast.
Well, you said you wanted to talk about it
Yeah,
after my weigh-ins and stuff.
I do,
so-
yeah. No, I'm enjoying it. I'm kind of copied you. You've actually inspired me to be more healthy.
Good.
I went paintballing yesterday.
Sweet.
Got some bruises.
Yeah, some war scars.
This one on my arm, these looks like octopus suckers.
Oh, they look like love bites from like a child.
Well, they are actually love bites from an octopus.
Nice.
It was a weird day.
There was an octopus paintballing there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was really good because he had a gun in each hand.
Yeah. 2 on the floor, 6 in the air. Like squiddly diddly.
I'm squiddly diddly, motherfucker. I was practicing my paintball noise as well. You ready?
That's nice. It sounds like... Do you remember the old advert for Strongbow with the arrows when they hit the wood?
I actually did that sound effect.
Did you?
No. It's really... Actually, I was about to say it's really good fun, but I'll tell you what it is. It's quite good fun. Have you been paintballing?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
This is the first time I've been.
In Wales, there's so many wooded areas that there's just a bunch of companies set up. So
I don't know if it was the company that we used.
and when you say we, I mean, where was my invite? You know
it was for a friend's birthday, and he doesn't know you. And
so what?
He probably would have appreciated more people coming, but I spent 70 quid on paintballs.
Yeah, it's expensive. That's the one thing I will say. As much as I enjoy it, I'm a bigger fan of laser tag because you pay a £5.
It hurts as well.
It does hurt.
If you get it on the hand, like blood blister there.
Oh, I've had it on the forehead.
Really? That must hurt.
Because the mask only covered up to like the top of my eyebrow, and it was like, doof. And I was like, ugh.
That's your dead sound when you get shot. It was all right. I find it reaches a peak level in enjoyment and then starts to slowly deteriorate as you think.
Did you play different games or was it just shooting each
No,
other?
it was different games.
My favourite is Capture the Flag.
Well, it was all like pretty similar, the mechanics, just in different scenarios. There was a Star Wars based one which was cool. They had to defend these power packs on a Y-wing spaceship, and we had to catch it.
Do you know what? I've had a great idea for paintballing because you say like Star Wars themed.
Yeah.
People like doing live action role playing. LARPing, as it's known. What about, like, you could do that, but with paintballing?
That must already
be a thing. So you could, like, no way, I've made it up.
I'm sorry. No, it's a good idea. That's why
you, like, level your character up and stuff.
Oh, so you play the same character each time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is what they do in... LARPing is the same as playing D&D, just, like, you're actually there, you know?
Yeah. Okay. I'd be on board with that.
But
It'd be cool to be in Stormtrooper uniforms because the paintballs wouldn't hurt, and you could see clearly when people.
Well, it doesn't have to be Star Wars; it could be anything. But Star Wars would fit, though. Yeah. You see, the thing is now it's getting hot again. We should go to the beach and play Capture the Flag. You don't use guns; you just like tackle Capture the Flag, like down at Goring Gap.
Oh, that sounds fun. I like outsidey games.
Me too.
I like softball as well.
Softball, rounders.
What else?
I like the
cricket.
I like the fuzzy thing that you stick on your hand and you throw.
Oh yeah, it goes.
I've also got a whistling Nerf thing that you throw to each other. So
they're so annoying. I love them. I want to have a massive water fight as well.
Yes.
I remember my parents, or it was actually my dad and his mates when I was about 8. They had this huge water fight, and my godfather had one of those ones where it's like a rucksack on your back filled with water.
Yeah, we had one of those.
Gun. And he was like. And all I remember seeing was the front door fall in. He booted the front door down, and it just fell off its hinges. It was so funny. My mum was so angry. My godfather used to be in the army, so it was like he was like getting really into it.
I remember we went laser tag once. My mum and her second husband. I think we were at Butlins or something, and he got really into it. And like we were playing defend the base, so you had to get into the other person's base and shoot it. Yeah. Some woman was near our base, and he ran up behind her, grabbed her. Put the gun to her head and went, "Don't move, don't move, don't move."
Oh my God.
And she just started crying.
Oh no. Did he not know her? Was it a stranger?
Yeah, it was a stranger.
That's really awkward.
Yeah. It was funny though.
This paintballing was fun. It wasn't just us, it was a massive group.
Yeah, of course.
Which makes sense. But what I didn't like is there were some people in our group who were real losers. Like,
how do you mean?
Like they were really like. Do you remember at school there were like army kids who were like just proper into the army and stuff?
Yeah.
They were. I think they were these people,
right?
And they just hadn't grown out of it. And they were not like they were actually in the army, but they were like
taking it too seriously.
Like they brought their own gear and stuff, like their own boots and camouflage and stuff. And they were like getting really into it and shouting.
And people call us geeks.
Yeah, you know? I mean, I'm not judging them for what they enjoy. I just think that they were enforcing it on the rest of us a bit too much. There was this one old guy he was a bit older. He was maybe in his 50s, and he had like a ponytail. He was South African. Charlie was calling him Sharta Copley because he was a bit like in Chappie, when he's the bad guy. And he was like, there was one point where Charlie and my cousin Robin were on the same team, and this guy was like, "Oh, we got girls on our team. We're not going to win." And they were like, "Fucking what?"
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, I just meant that you're shorter, so you can't see over." And he was just being sexist.
A sexist pig. Yeah.
But it was fun, and I hurt today, like not just from the bruises, but from
Running
all the
around.
running and crouching. I fell over so much as well, like just tripping over. It was cool though, because you don't get hurt really. When you fall over, you just kind of roll.
Yeah.
I think because it's like the adrenaline and you're in the zone.
You can do like overnight ones as well, where you like
Really?
stay in like a bunker and stuff, and you play it all day and all night.
See, I did a few and I enjoyed it, and then I set the last game out. Well, firstly because I ran out of paintballs, and also because I'd had enough. Like,
It is expensive.
Yeah,
That's my only problem. It's not like all you can eat paintballs. You know, you don't pay
all you can
all
eat,
you can eat.
or you can shoot.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you get a certain amount, and then you have to pay for more, and they're not cheap.
No.
Even some of the cheaper companies, it still can be an expensive day, which is why I'm kind of more keen on a half day of paintballing. You know,
Yeah.
I'm a bigger fan of laser tag though.
I like laser tag. I haven't played it for a long time.
We should go. There's one in Brighton.
Okay. What, just the two of us? 1v1. We could get a group of people together.
I went with some friends once, and there was a bunch of kids.
Yeah.
And it was just us three against about 15 kids who were having a birthday party.
Really?
And they said to the parents, like, "Do you mind?" And they were like, "No." And he was like, "Right, so it's you three against all these kids." It was so much
Sounds
fun.
cool. Like the level in Smash Bros where you have to fight all the Yoshis.
Yeah. I literally did, yeah. I like picked them up and threw them across the
Threw
arena.
them off the map. So that's what I've been doing
That's
these last few
awesome.
weeks. What about you?
Not a lot.
You've been...
I'm still off work
Yeah.
because I had some complications and new stuff going on. I've got a new mask. They fitted some new stuff for me and trying some different things. So.
Yeah. But you've been writing and it's been published.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You can if you go to geekguardians.com. It's a website that was made by a guy I work with, and a group of us have all written for it. I can't remember everyone's name. I think it's Dan, Chris, Lauren, myself, Richard, and there might be one other person whose name I forget. But if you want, I mean, check everything out because it's cool. But if you specifically want to see what I've written, there's an article on the X-Files revival, which Alex actually helped me sort of edit and make a bit more coherent. There's an article on I wrote up a Loot Crate review. I know we do it on here, but I wrote one there too. A review of the Symphony of the Goddess concert, some TV shows I'd like to bring back, and then lastly I wrote about I did a review of Starlight, a comic book, and a history of the Ultimate Comics.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So if you want to learn about Ultimate Spider-Man, which is ending soon, you can kind of check it out and see what I think.
With Miles.
Well, no, it started out with Peter
Right.
Parker. So what I did, like, part one is a brief history.
Oh, okay.
Part two is going to be a specific look at storylines. But Miles Morales is mentioned, but Peter Parker, and then Parker dies, spoilers, and then Miles Morales. And the actually, I'll lend you the comic book sometimes, because the death of Peter Parker's storyline is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Really
I've
moving.
heard it's really good.
Yeah, I've got the omnibus.
Oh,
So
cool,
if you want
man.
about 500 pages of Spider-Man.
I do like Spider-Man. I think Charlie thinks he's a bit boring,
No.
but I think cinematically he's been made boring.
It's been hit
but-
or miss, but the comic books he's good fun, and the recent stuff's been like mental. Like there was a whole run where there's a storyline where Dr. Octopus is dying,
Yeah.
and he swaps bodies with Peter Parker. So Peter Parker dies in his old body,
Really?
and he becomes Spider-Man, and he calls himself the Superior Spider-Man,
Wow.
and he like kills villains and stuff. It's really dark, but it's good fun.
I like that. Because I like the Doctor. I like Doctor
Dr.
Octopus. That's
Dr.
what I call.
Peroxide with his blonde hair.
Yeah. He's like, I'm Dr. Peroxide, baby. Wow, we've just invented a bad guy.
Yeah.
So at geekguardians.com, it's a really good website.
Yeah,
I've
check
checked
it
it out, and you've got some good works on that. So you have been pretty busy. You've not been
Yeah,
working, but
I've
you've been
been
writing more, which is
Been
what you wanted.
exercising and playing Magic with some people, practicing, getting
Yeah.
some testing in, ready for tournaments and things. So
Sweet.
yeah.
Would you like to review a Z-Box? Or
Yeah, I've got a Z-Box right here. Because on the last episode it hadn't shown up. This one was a bit late, I think.
yeah,
Because normally they come about the same time. But this one showed up a little late, Zavi.
it's opening.
Right, so what we got here? The theme was animation. So
Yeah.
here we go. A pop figure, which is never bad.
Oh, that's nice.
Did you see Big Hero 6?
No.
Oh, you need to check it out.
Is this Fred guy from Big Hero 6?
Yeah. It's Fred from Big Hero 6 in a pop vinyl figure.
I can't believe I never watched Big Hero 6. I think because I couldn't get Charlie to come with me.
Well, you should have said. I'd have gone.
I know.
It's great. Great movie. So there's that.
When's it out on Blu-ray?
Probably in a couple of months, I'd imagine.
I'm going to buy it.
It's I've got so many pop vinyl figures now. It's unbelievable.
You should...
I need to
Well,
get them
you
all out
don't
of their
have-
boxes and
yeah.
stack them all up because Ali's got a few. I've already
do you
got
keep
some.
them in their boxes or do you take them out?
I keep the figures in the boxes, but I keep the boxes in the loot crates at the moment.
Oh,
I haven't
right.
split my loot crates up
Oh, okay.
because I was just thinking when we eventually move, it might be handier to have things
To
in
have
boxes.
them there.
But,
Yeah.
what else do you get? You get some little Spider-Man candy sticks. Remember, like the little candy
Oh,
stick
the ones that
things?
you pretend are cigarettes.
Yeah. A Transformers stress ball.
That's
It's
quite
all
nice.
right. I mean, it's
Is it Optimus? Yeah, it is.
yeah, it's Optimus. I think it was random which one you got, but I got Optimus. So fuck
Super.
everyone that didn't. A South Park fridge magnet.
Fine.
Yeah, I like South Park, but
Yeah,
they said there
fridge
was
magnets and,
they said there was going to be a South Park item in it, and I was like, sweet, I love South Park. And then it was a fridge magnet, and I was like, okay, I'll put it on my fridge, but I'll never look at it.
yeah, that's
You
all.
know.
That's all that it's good for.
A little Disney blind booster. You get like a figure. Ali's already opened it because she loves it.
Oh, it's Little Turtle.
It's a little turtle from Nemo. I can't remember his name.
Crush.
Yeah.
No, that is
No, Crush is the older person. That's Little Crush.
Squirt.
Squirt,
Or something.
Squirt,
Is
that's
it
it.
Squirt?
I think so. I haven't watched Finding Nemo for years. There's a great
Oh,
Finding Nemo.
Frozone. You can get Frozone. I like
Yeah, you
Frozone.
can get also. I think we've got some already. Like
Have
we
you?
bought some of these. Crush is great.
Yeah.
The roller coaster at Disneyland, Crush's coaster, is the best.
I found it like a bit boring. Like, I
What?
guess it's more aimed at kids.
No, it's not. It's really fast.
But I didn't think it was
I,
that scary. going
it's
on
not
it.
scary. It's kids don't like it. I saw kids getting
Oh,
off it
really?
crying.
Gosh.
A little Thundercats badge, which I like badges, but they always fall off. Like
Yeah.
my shoulder bag used to be covered in badges, and
And
now it's
they've
got
all
like
come off.
one on it. A Thundercats lenticular postcard,
Fine.
which I don't know what I'm going to do with that.
I like the Thundercats logo.
Yeah, I do as well. Although I'd maybe prefer the Thundercats t-shirt.
Yeah.
The last item I quite like because it's an alternate art cover is an Uncle Scrooge comic
Oh,
book.
cool.
Um,
Black and white.
Z-Box exclusive cover as well because
Wow.
IDW have revived it recently, I think.
Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah, he's cool. But generally, I think for the first time in a while, Loot Crate beat Z-Box this month. And that hasn't happened for a while because normally Z-Box are on top.
Good work, Loot Crate.
The Z-Box is
And
not bad.
fine work, Zbox.
Yeah, I mean, it's
This you can't win them all,
No.
and this time Loot Crate has beaten you.
yeah, I mean, it's not a bad one. I'd probably give it a 6 out of 10.
Cool.
Yeah.
Excellent stuff.
The next one, I think, is Marvel themed.
Oh, really?
I think it's called Marvelous, and I'm sure I saw Captain America's shield because they did a deal where if you pre-ordered this and the Steelbook edition of Age of Ultron, you got it cheaper. And I did, and now the Age of Ultron Steelbook sold out completely.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I managed to get it. And have you seen that? Did you watch Days of Future Past X-Men?
Yes, I did.
Have
yeah,
you seen
it's
that the
excellent.
Road Cut's coming out in July?
The Road Cut?
Have you not heard of it? Basically, Anna Paquin was in it as Rogue, but then they cut her out of the film because apparently it just didn't work. You know, it was a long film anyway.
Yeah.
And the director.
Oh, I didn't realise that she wasn't in it.
Yeah, no, she's even credited. Her name appeared on the posters, but they cut her out of the film.
Oh.
And I think, was it Matthew Vaughn that directed? I think it was.
Yeah.
But he said after it came out, well, I want to put together an extended cut. And it was going to be
Did
called...
she get paid for it then?
Yeah,
anyway?
should have. Well, you get paid up front, don't you?
I suppose, yeah.
Unless you got like a back end on box office. But,
Yeah.
So he said, well, we'll do a road cut. And they've announced the date for that.
When's that?
July 13th.
July 13th.
Yeah, I've pre-ordered the Steelbook because it looks
Sweet.
pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I think it's 20 minutes longer, which isn't... It's not
I
a
like
lot.
Anna Paquin as Rogue.
Yeah, I do as well. I used to like her in True Blood as well, but I went off that in the end.
True Blood was... See, the vampire thing got out of hand, but True Blood was pretty solid as a
The
franchise.
first couple of seasons.
Yeah.
Well. We watched 1 to 4, and towards the end of 4 I was thinking, this is getting a bit out of hand.
I think I didn't watch them all, but I
No.
remember just
I would
hearing
probably
that it went downhill.
suggest 1 and 2, and then maybe like 3 and 4 are okay, but 5 we started watching, and about 3 episodes in, my girlfriend sort of said to me, "Do you not want to watch this anymore?" And I went, "No, I don't know what's happening. I'm really bored of this now." And that's kind of it for me with True Blood. I don't normally, even if I don't like a show, I normally stick with it. But
Well, I want to talk about teen sci-fi and fantasy,
yeah,
whether it's good or bad,
sure.
because we like bash on what's it called with the vampires and the werewolves.
Yeah,
Fuck, it's gone out my head. What's it called?
Twilight.
Twilight.
Yeah,
We rag on that because it's chuff.
yeah,
But we are obsessed with Harry Potter, which isn't in the same level in terms of quality, but it is sort of like a teenage fantasy. Like the books came out and they were for young adults.
Well, I
teenagers.
think they were for kids originally.
Well, yeah, but like the majority of the fan base,
If you go
when it
to the
came out.
bookshop now and look at the section they're in, it's kids.
kids.
Not,
absolutely,
not
I
teens.
agree. But
Well, it's because they grew up with it, I guess.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
you were
they
a
grew up.
teenager, like.
and one thing, like for example, The Hunger Games has done really well. I know that our girlfriends are fans of the books,
Yep.
and I watch the films and enjoy them.
Yeah, they're okay.
And I watched Divergent last night.
Neil. Yeah.
Have you seen it?
No.
I really liked it.
Is that the new one or the there's a sequel to one?
I haven't seen the sequel
right,
yet
okay,
because
but-
I just heard from someone at work that Divergent is worth watching, and I was like, oh, I always slate off these teen sci-fi dramatic whatever they are, but I'm going to give it a chance.
Divergent kind of went under the radar for me.
It did, and
It must have made enough money to have a sequel, though.
it has, yeah. And I mean, they're based on books, like all
Yeah,
of
I've
them
heard of the
usually are.
Divergent series.
And I just thought that as a film, it's really well structured, and like I'd recommend watching it.
Yeah, I'll give it a try.
The story is quite rich. It doesn't try and add sensationalization to make it interesting. Like there's no real like magical sci-fi stuff. It's
Right.
just in a dystopic future basically.
Sure.
And it's quite straightforward, the story, but it works really well. And I quite like the direction and the way it's shot, and a lot of the design and the
Sure.
set design and stuff is all really nice. So I would recommend checking out. But it got me thinking, the teen sci-fi stuff, is it good or bad? And
well,
I think that
wouldn't it be better to just say teen fiction in
Teen
general?
fiction in
'Cause because sci-fi covers I know it covers a lot of broad stuff, but
yeah, I mean, I guess sci-fi in terms of this Divergent thing that got me thinking.
Yeah.
But fiction in general. Do you remember the Alex Rider series by Horowitz?
yeah.
The books, they were awesome. I loved reading them when I was little.
My favourite when I was a kid was Darren Shan's.
Darren Shan's
and the
books,
vampire
yeah.
stuff.
They were cool.
They were great. I mean, you could read those. I remember my friend. Never bought any. My friend used to get them, and I used to like sleep over and just read one in a night because they were only
Yeah.
like 120 pages.
I remember them. There were loads of them as well, weren't there?
13, I think. I've got them all.
Do you remember Redwall?
No.
The books about animals having battles against each other.
No, I don't.
It was a whole series. I read one or two. They're quite cool. Like, they were quite cool.
You read anything by Mallory Blackman? She was like the teen author.
Black and White.
Yeah, Black and White.
I think Charlie
Noughts and Crosses.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You definitely should read those. She was like the what do they call it? Like teen fiction laureate or whatever. it's
The laureate. Yeah.
Yeah, so she's a great author though. Her books are Black and White or Noughts. I think the first one's called Noughts and Crosses.
I probably just think of Black and White because do you remember there was that PC game called Black and White?
I'm sure it is called Black and White. One
Really?
of them is. It's anyway. They're well worth a read. They're really strong, really well written.
Yeah, I've heard good things.
I don't think teen fiction's a bad thing.
Me neither. And I realised that we've ragged on it in the past, but they are very
But
specific
some of it
ones
does.
that-
But the thing is that Twilight books aren't even all that bad. The films are bad, but the books aren't even that dreadful. They're passable for the first couple.
And also, they know their audience.
Yeah, which was well. I mean,
It is teenage
I'd
girls.
imagine a lot of Mormons bought it as well because she's a Mormon writer, and it's so full of Mormon iconology.
Really? Iconology.
Yeah,
What? Stephanie Meyer.
Yeah.
As a Mormon.
yeah, yeah.
But
The whole
surely-
like, oh, now we're married, we can have sex as much as we want, and all that
Oh,
sort of
wow,
stuff.
okay.
It's got it in the same sort of way that the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe is basically just the
Just-
Bible.
Yeah.
You know, because
Yeah.
C.S. Lewis was a fucking raving lunatic.
And a paedophile. Oh no, that was
No, I don't think he was a paedophile.
who
It was just,
wrote Alice in Wonderland?
C.S. Lewis. No, Lewis Carroll.
Lewis Carroll. That's
Sorry.
it. Yeah, he was a paedophile.
If you go to Wales at the moment and
No.
go,
How dare you?
go to Llandudno, which is apparently where he got the inspiration for Alice from, probably
What,
whilst
from
he
a
was
girl
noncing
there?
off on her.
Well, it was based on a real girl. Apparently.
Yeah, and apparently she lived there, or that's where he met her, because there's loads of statues of Alice in Wonderland in the town.
That
like
sounds
wood
really cool.
carvings. Yeah,
I like Alice in Wonderland.
yeah, me too. It's good.
Yeah, you should watch Divergent. It's good. It's on Amazon Prime.
All right,
It's got Miles Teller.
he's good.
It's got Kate Winslet.
She's all right.
It's got Danny DeVito.
That's it.
No, it does not. But it does have Maggie Q, I think, is
Yeah.
one. Oh, who else, though, is in it? Someone else famous, I think.
That girl off of
Fault in Our Stars. Yeah, the main girl.
She's sort of everywhere.
Yeah, she is.
She's all right. I mean, I haven't seen enough with her in to judge her yet.
I haven't seen The Fault in Our Stars because I'm scared of bawling my eyes out.
I'm not scared. I'm worried that it tries too hard to make you bawl your eyes out.
Oh,
like
okay.
a tear, you know, one of those tearjerkers where you're kind of like
You're watching
too
it
much.
to cry.
Yeah,
Oh,
I will
I
still
can
watch
see
it.
that.
Though. When I saw the trailer, I was like, yeah, I could watch that. It's all right. I could watch that.
That's the noise you make when you see trailers.
Yeah. Whoa. The dude that's in The Fault in Our Stars is also in a film called Men, Women and Children with Ben Stiller, which is all about like addiction to social media and stuff.
Cool.
It's worth a watch.
Okay.
It's good.
I like Ben Stiller.
Don't watch the film called While We're Young though. It's bad.
I saw that on at the cinema and I was like, "Meh." That's
You
what I
watch the
did,
trailer
yeah.
and you're like, "Bah." The trailer made it look really good, but it was sort of nothingy. But Adam Driver's really good. I like him.
He's in Star Wars, isn't he?
He's going to be in Star Wars, yeah.
Is he going to? He's got to be the bad guy.
I think so, yeah.
He's got
He'd
such a cool
play
deep
good.
voice.
Yeah, he's good in Girls as well. He's one of my favourite things about Girls because he's so like whatever. Fuck
Yeah,
it.
he's such a he's the kind. This is going to sound gross, but his character, you can imagine having a smelly dick. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he's just like a gross waste man.
Yeah, I'd imagine it's a bit cheesy. Yeah. But he's cool. I really want to watch Girls again. Actually, I haven't seen it in a while, and I didn't see any of the new series.
No, I've
which I
only
felt
seen
bad
like
about.
most of season 1. I bought it for Charlie, and then we didn't finish watching it.
We've seen 1 and 2 and 3. Yeah, I think we've seen 3, but 4
Cool.
is on at the moment.
It's very well written.
It's very good. Yeah, Lena Dunham's good writer.
Do we want to probably move on to Steve is a fucking nerd?
Yeah,
I mean, we haven't given our views on Ultron, but maybe we should save that because that will be at least another half hour.
probably.
Let's
Yeah.
save that for the next one.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's just say our 5-word review of Age of Ultron.
All right.
Ready?
Yeah, okay. My 5-word review.
Yeah.
It could have been better.
Oh, interesting. Okay,
Yeah.
my one,
Yeah.
because obviously I think it goes without saying that it was good. Like, it was a good watch.
Yeah.
But we want to be constructive, as you were.
Yeah.
It could have been better. So this is mine.
He's just counting
Okay,
it out
I'm just
like
counting
I
it
did.
Trying to 1, 2, 3, 4. Not as charming as first. That's rubbish.
That's
Fuck.
not.
That's not even a sentence.
I don't. Is the first one charming? There's nothing about the Avengers that makes me go, "Ooh, charming." Bring me my tea and biscuits,
that's
Nan.
my-
That was
That's
charming.
my poshness rubbing off on you again. Do you know what? Okay, so it could have been better. Oh no, that's yours.
Wasn't as good. Oh,
Wasn't as entranced.
no,
Okay.
entranced is a word, isn't it? You counted 2. You went wasn't as entranced.
What did I?
Basically, what he's saying is it isn't as good as the first. Isn't
not
as good
very-
as the first.
Not as good as first. There were too many characters.
Yeah, definitely.
That's
I
5
do
words
kind
for
of want to
you.
talk about it now, but it means we'll be bleeding into quite long territory. And actually, we're not doing anything anytime soon, so we can probably record a couple over the week. So
Yeah.
we'll
Just stay tuned for a full review of the
the
Avengers
next
Age of
episode
Ultron.
might be sort of like half the episode is dedicated to it because I feel like I've got a lot to say about it. And
Me
I haven't
too.
actually written a review yet, and I'm probably not going to bother because so many people on the website have.
Oh, okay.
So maybe I'll just I mean, look, it is a good movie, but in a way, I feel like there's a lot of arse licking going on for it on the site I'm writing for. So I kind of want
It's
to
a
be
preparation
constructive.
movie. It's a link. It feels like a linker to the next movie.
Yeah,
to the
which
next
is a
set
bad
of
thing
movies,
to
to
do
the next
with
phase.
Yeah, but with the linchpin of your series, you don't do that. You don't use the Avengers to
No.
set up the next
No.
phase of movies. You use. There's nothing wrong with using films to set up for the next one, so long as they're good on their own. But the Avengers is the big one. That is the big movie. Don't use it to set up the next films.
No.
But next episode.
Next episode.
Age of Ultron.
You ready for a... That's a really good impression of him.
Did you like it?
Let me try an impression of him. He was like...
That wasn't my impression. That was just me saying Age of Ultron.
I can't do an impression of Spader.
It wasn't Spader, was it?
Spade.
Didn't Spader do...
He's that really annoying comedian, isn't
Spader... No. He did... Oh, fuck it.
he? He keeps phoning. I know there's David Spade.
Yeah, no, David
Spader. What's his name? Quick.
Who played Jarvis and thingy?
David Spade is the really annoying. He's like in the Emperor's New Groove and stuff. That actor.
Yeah, James Spader.
James Spader. Sorry, is Ultron. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking. I can't do a James Spader impression. Was what I wanted to say.
Go on, do one.
He's like. Oh,
Yoo-hoo, Iron Man, you
Iron
made me.
He's like strings. No, that's Bane. Iron Man.
Oh, it's Paul Bettany I'm thinking of as
Oh,
Jarvis.
Paul Bettany's
I was getting them the
Jarvis.
wrong way around. Iron Man. Iron Man is awful.
Yeah, stay tuned for a full review.
Funnily enough, on the subject of Bane and Tom Hardy, bit of a segue there.
Mad
What
Max.
do you think about it?
What?
Someone was saying to me the trailer looks too over the top, and they're not sure if that's a good thing.
What for Mad Max?
Yeah,
I think it looks awesome.
I think it looks fucking awesome.
I will never fault anything Tom Hardy ever does. You can hold me to that.
I will, because when the next crock of shit he makes comes out, I think Mad Max looks deliciously over the top, like one
Yeah.
of those films where you're just like the whole thing's a spectacle. Like,
Like with Drag Me to Hell.
yeah,
People like, there's no way that would happen and
Yeah.
stuff.
Drag Me to Hell just made me laugh the whole
Yeah,
way through.
it's funny.
I mean, a movie where an anvil falls on a woman's head and her eyeballs pop out. What's
Yeah, and
not to
also a
like?
goat tells you to fuck off or something.
I think Mad Max looks like one of those films where if you don't leave your brain at the door, you might be disappointed.
If you go in there expecting to be
Highbrow.
captivated by realism, then get the fuck out.
Yeah.
They should call it Mad Steve,
Mad Steve.
and it should star you.
I would definitely do that.
We should make a budget version.
It's got Nicholas Hoult in it, hasn't it? I didn't
Has
realise
it?
until it said his name in the trailer. He's the kid in the trailer with like the sewn up lips, and he's like, "What a lovely, lovely day."
Oh, right.
Did you like my impression?
That was good. What a lovely, lovely day. Right. On that note, are you ready for... because it's episode number 10, it's sort of like an anniversary for us.
Yeah. So you decided to do something completely out of line and
Out
not
of
ask me
line.
geek questions.
No, I am going to ask you questions.
Yeah. Just
But
not geeky
Just
ones.
not geeky ones.
Do you
I'm
want
going
to?
to ask you 10 questions.
Yeah.
Because it's the 10th episode.
Yeah.
And after we've had this fucking election going on, it's been
Yeah.
all everyone's speaking about for about a month.
Yeah.
And now it's over. And basically what we have to do is make light of the fact that not everyone is going to get the country that they hoped to achieve.
You're far too polite. You are far too polite.
Well, I don't...
We need to look out for each other because the government sure as fuck aren't going to do it. So you need to we need to be nicer to each other for the next 5 years because it's going to be a mean old England to live in as far as I'm concerned. And if we don't care for each other, then no one else is.
I think people exaggerate how evil Conservative MPs are. They are people there who genuinely work towards what they believe is a better
But
country. They are not going, haha, let's make people suffer. And people genuinely think that they are doing that.
I don't think they do that. But remember, this is the same government that hasn't tried anyone for the mass paedophilia that's come out when it was known, you know, or the same government that haven't tried the bankers that ran us into an economic crisis. So they make
What do you mean haven't tried them?
Yeah, they haven't gone to prison. The people
Yeah, they have.
not
Operation U-Tree cracking down on it.
No, but I mean that it was covered up for so many years under, there's so many people that have gotten away with it. And also, in terms of they haven't tried, I mean the bankers who ran this country into the ground,
Yeah.
who committed fraud. But there may be some individual conservatives who are nice people, but in general, the feeling is that the conservatives as a whole at the moment aren't very nice.
Do you mean even... See, my problem with it is that either the majority of the country are all assholes for voting for them,
Yeah.
or they genuinely believe that they can do something good. And I really am not inclined towards the first one.
I am.
No.
Well, a third of the country didn't vote, and that same third of the country are going to be the same fucking people sat on their asses moaning about it for the next 5 years. And maybe if they'd got up and voted Labour, then something could have happened.
I just think you're right that we just need to
Yeah,
not fucking go into some sort of tribal warfare about whose politics are right.
Yeah, ultimately,
we need to
I
just
think
hang out and be cool.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even want to vote Labour. It was just the lesser of two evils at the time. But I think for the next 5 years, yeah, we just got to look after each other. I mean, they are mean. Come on, the day after they got in, it was like, oh, we're cutting payments for the disabled. But enough about that. Just we need to care for each other because the government aren't going to.
And with
Unless
that
you're
in
rich,
mind,
then you're fine. Like Russell Brand, he's going to be fine.
Yeah,
For
he
all
even
his
said that
fucking
in
politics. Yeah,
He even said that in his video. He was like, "It's quite good for me because I'm a rich man."
yeah.
But with all that in mind, let's educate you on Great Britain
Yes.
and see how. Do you know what? Great Britain doesn't really matter. You know, it's not that great a place.
No, if we're being polite.
It's got some cool history though.
I'll take
So-
your line on it. We'll be polite. It's
Yeah,
not the best place.
It's not the best place.
Yeah, it's got some sweet history. We spawned a lot of stuff here that's just awesome.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna educate you about it. I'm gonna see how much.
Are you just
going
going to find random questions? Or you actually picked some.
I'm gonna find random ones. So,
I'm not going to know that much.
No, don't worry. I wouldn't either. Give me a number between 1 and 255.
120.
120. Oh, fucking okay. These are quite cool, actually. Quiz 58, Harry Potter.
Really?
Yeah, you got the best one. But there are some good questions on here, actually.
Okay, do it.
So this might actually just turn into a Harry Potter quiz.
That's fine. I love that.
Ready?
I love on the front page, the first thing I can see is like Wombles. Like, what makes Britain great? The Wombles.
The Wombles.
Yeah.
Where would we be without the Wombles?
Well, yeah. We're not talking about Boris Johnson.
He's great.
Do you not think he looks he's a bit of a womble?
He is.
Like,
He could have been Uncle Bulgaria.
he's an MP now, thingy, isn't he now? Like, he's in an area rather than...
He's not.
He's
Is he not Mayor of London
No,
anymore?
no. He's,
Eddie Izzard said he was going to run for Mayor of London.
that would be funny.
He's a firm Labour man, which is quite interesting. Right. Quiz number 58.
Yeah.
For all the good that matters. Harry Potter. Number 1. Which actor played Hagrid in the Harry Potter films? Do you tell me if you need multiple choice or if you can get this off the top of your head?
Oh, God. The fuck's his name? It's Robbie Coltrane.
Yes.
Yeah.
Number 2.
Yeah.
Which company bought J.K. Rowling's first script and published the novel?
Bloomsbury. Script? Or...
Well, yeah, the first, like the draft of the thing. You're saying Bloomsbury? It is Bloomsbury.
Nice.
Number 3. Cornelius Fudge was the minister for what?
Magic.
Correct. Which city is a favoured venue for midnight launches with J.K. Rowling present?
City?
Yeah.
Oh, I might have to have the multiple choice on that one.
Edinburgh, Hogwarts, London or Paris?
Edinburgh, I think.
Yes,
Edinburgh rings
yeah.
a bell, yeah.
I think because Hogwarts is meant to be in
It's meant to be-
Scotland.
yeah, didn't they work it out based on the travel of time
Yeah.
on the train that it would? The only
I
place
think
it
she
could
says it
logically
now
be.
as well, doesn't
Yeah,
she?
It's logical.
Number 5. Which Chris directed the first Harry Potter movie?
Columbus.
Yes. Number 6. What is the name of the Slytherin student who keeps company with Draco Malfoy?
Well, they're only naming one. I guess it's multiple choice, isn't it? Shall I
Yeah.
name a couple and see if they're on there?
Yeah.
Crab and Goyle or Pansy Parkinson. It's going to be one of those three.
Yeah. Which one are you going with?
Well, how can I? He hangs around
So
with
Crab and Goyle usually come as a pair, don't they? And
Yeah.
this is singular.
So it's got to be Pansy Parkinson.
Pansy Parkinson is correct, sir. Number 7. Which character did the late Richard Harris play on film?
Dumbledore.
I'm not going to get you started on this. You.
I don't think he's a bad Dumbledore, though.
No, that's the thing. You
Yeah.
you
I
thought
don't
it was
like
better.
Gambon,
You
yeah.
don't like Gambon. I
No.
do, but I feel like Harris is frailer or was.
I think
and
he was more like Dumbledore from the
Yeah,
books.
yeah. Parselmouth is the name for a wizard who can do what?
Talk to snakes.
Yeah. What
That's
type?
not a euphemism.
No.
Hey, Ron, I'm just popping
Hey.
upstairs to do some parcel time.
Yeah. On Hermione. Oh, don't tease me. Number 9. What type of transport appears on the cover of the children's edition of The Philosopher's Stone?
The train, Hogwarts Express.
Yep, train. Ready? Oh, this is easy. Number 10. What is the name of Ron's pet rat?
Scabbers.
Scabbers. So that's pretty good. It ended up being a Harry Potter quiz.
I just want to say that we didn't pre-select
We
that
didn't even
before
plan
the quiz.
that,
I just
no.
picked some.
That's magic. Do
Can
you
I
know
have
what?
a look at that book?
Yeah.
I like it. That was.
I don't know where I got it from. I think it was like a strange gift from...
That was a good.
Someone.
That was a good shout. Although there's some pretty good stuff in here.
Let me turn to a random page and just give you some questions.
Some questions. All right, cool.
Ready?
Yeah,
So you got 10 out of 10 for that.
sweet.
Oh, quiz number 38.
War. Oh, great. Yeah.
This was yesterday. One of my friends kept... His motto for the day was "War is hell," and we were playing paintball, and every time
Oh, I
like
would
a game
so say
started, he
that,
was
yeah.
like "War is hell," and then
Yeah.
running out.
What was the one of my favourite things? I mean, not to harp on about the election, but one of my favourite things that happened was that tweet where someone was like, "If you don't vote tomorrow, just remember my granddad died fighting over some scampies in Wetherspoons."
Yeah.
Because you know those people are like, "My granddad died for your right to vote."
I know, it's like it's so fucking loaded. Right. Speaking about war, in which month in 1914 did the First World War begin? I don't know this. July, August, September, or October?
I bet my buddy Matt will know. He's a war buff.
I remember we went to see Fury with him.
July.
August.
Yeah.
What were people told to keep burning in the 1914 song?
Oh, what's the choices?
Books, Germans, home fires, or wood?
Is it books?
No.
Germans.
No.
I don't know.
Home fires.
Home fires.
Keep burning Germans.
I was going to like book burning or something. Now, from those two questions alone, you can see where my priorities lie, can't you? Like Harry Potter or war?
Yeah, war fucking is boring, man.
Yeah.
That's
Why would I
enough.
read about war when I can read about, like, you know, the adventures of a little boy wizard?
Let's see what else we got.
I refuse to believe there isn't a quiz about, like, soap operas or something.
Here's one on British pop music.
Oh, go on.
Which Spice Girl advertised Milky Bars as a child? Baby, posh, nice, or scary? Nice,
Nice.
isn't a Spice Girl. Oh, that's probably to throw you off the scent. Hi, I'm Nice Spice.
What? Was it Beckham? Was it Victoria Beckham?
No.
Baby?
Yes, it
Yeah.
was Baby. I imagine because of the blonde thing.
Yeah.
The Milky Bar kid is really buff, or whatever it is.
If you want to get with me, you've got to eat my Milky Bar.
Oh, that means vagina. How old was Billie Piper when she first went to number 1? Whoa, I didn't know this.
Is it 16?
15.
I was going to say 15, but then
That's
I thought,
crazy young.
I mean, is it wrong to say that a 15-year-old was sucking dick to become famous?
Jesus Christ. Oh, you might know this one. This is a good one to finish on. What is the first name of the Welsh singer from Catatonia?
Cerys Matthews.
Close.
What was it?
We've got Mfanwy, Nerys, Nestor, Rhiannon.
I thought it was Gareth Matthews.
Neris.
Neris.
Yeah.
Fuck off, is it Neris?
Apparently.
Bullshit.
Neris. Neris Matthews.
Well, I'm gonna write into that and say that
it might be wrong, but
in which
fuck off of it. Is it Neris?
In which decade did Bananarama have their first hit?
The 60s.
No, it's the 80s.
Oh, that was stupid of me. I don't know anything.
That was good. That's pretty cool.
It's good, isn't it?
I actually have a Tolkien quiz book that I was going to bring along one day, but I thought it's fucking hard. It is for proper Tolkien nerds. Even I can't answer most of them.
Bring it, and then we can learn from it. Like,
Yeah.
I won't know, but we can like ask each other and then find out the answers.
That's good.
I've run out of gin and tonic.
Yeah,
I've run out of questions.
yeah.
And
That was good. No,
we've-
no educating this week, just
No.
because I've done it consistently since about
we need
episode
a
1.
break from educating.
Yeah, we took a bit of a break with some stuff, so I'll do educating next episode maybe, or the one after.
Yeah,
I'll come up with a different feature maybe.
we could. We've the world is our oyster.
Yeah, and people could email in if you've got some suggestions.
Email us with questions.
Yeah, and suggestions for features.
Questions, suggestions for features and
Creatures.
creatures.
Pictures of your creatures.
Sit and
That's
watch
not a
us in the
euphemism.
bleachers and features.
When did Eminem start doing this podcast?
I don't know. I was trying to make a poem.
Email us beardwags@gmail. And find
.com.
us on .com.
Oh my god! I'll tell you what was funny. Well, actually, I may have oversold this, but I spoke to someone.
Am I not going to have my side splitting?
I spoke to someone the other day, and I was like, "What's the email? What's your email?" And they were like, "Right, it's capital C R A," and then they said the first name, and then they were like, "Capital P" for the second name. Like they thought that the email was case sensitive.
Yeah.
And it was funny. I just thought that was funny because it's not.
You chuckled to yourself and went, "You're an idiot."
I was like, "Loser, loser."
Yeah.
And then I hung. It was a client.
But
I
you
up
hung
the phone.
them.
Yeah, and then I hanged them. I think that's it for now.
Yeah, Twitter @beardwags as usual.
What would really like, what we would really like, is if you were to go to our iTunes page,
Yeah.
subscribe to us, and I think what we can possibly do is go through and thank the people who review us.
Only if it shows up. We
If
need
it
enough reviews for them to show up.
Because we know people have reviewed us and written reviews, but they don't show up until they've got like quite a lot, I think.
Yeah, I don't think it has to be loads. It just has to be enough for it to,
Find an average
yeah.
rating.
And then, yeah, that's it. It needs an average rating, and if there's not enough, so review us, and then what we'll do is we'll give you a shout. Maybe I tell you what, we'll give something away. We'll select a random reviewer and get in touch with them.
We will. We'll do like a bit of a prize draw for a reviewer. So find Beardwags on iTunes, subscribe to us, leave us a review. As interesting as you like. We might choose one that makes us laugh the most, or we might just choose one at random.
That would be cool. Did you
Yeah.
review it on yours?
Oh, I should do actually.
I did
shouldn't
on mine.
Oh, okay.
I put 2 overweight British blokes act opinionated in front of microphones. What's not to like?
I mean, that's very diplomatic. You could have been like, "I'm fucking awesome,"
Yeah,
but you
but I didn't want to put that.
no.
I should have been like, "This is shit. I hate it."
Yeah, 1 star. Did I tell you about the time that me and my friend found on Amazon the product was a giant jelly bean, and it had 1 review, and it was 1 star, and the only comment underneath was greasy. Like someone had ordered it and expected it not to. I think I've told that story before.
What about the if you ever want to laugh and you go to Amazon and search for Katie Price and
Oh yeah,
Thingy's album, what's his name?
Peter Andre.
Yeah, search for their album A Whole New World and read the reviews. They are hilarious.
Yeah.
They're all ironic.
Hilarious.
A couple of people are like, I don't understand why all these reviews are giving it 5 stars. I didn't think it was very good. And people are replying like, well, clearly you don't understand irony.
There's Walder Frey outside.
Yeah.
Have you seen him?
Yeah.
Our old neighbour.
You don't have to whisper.
He might be able to hear us.
He's nearly fucking dead.
Yeah, and he'll
Unless he gets his ear horn out, he's not going to be able to hear us.
Hello? He's outside, and sometimes he stares in the window, and he was just.
He was
doing
listening. He was like, I love that beard
I
wax.
love those beard wags when they talk about pussies.
Imagine if he did download it. How good would that be?
That would be
And
great.
he didn't know
He
that
left
we
a
lived
review.
upstairs.
Yes. Let's go and sign a photo for him and take it down.
Let's go sign a dog poo for him and push it through his
On
letterbox.
fire.
On that note,
thanks for listening to Beardwags.
Yeah.
Once again, episode number 10. We made it.
woohoo!
End of series 1. Nah, just kidding. We're going to do some more soon.
No, we're not doing any more.
Oh,
Didn't I tell you? I'm a 10 number kind of guy.
it's 10 strokes
I'm
and you're
like,
done.
she's a perfect 10, but she wears a 12.
That was on. That's so weird, man. I was thinking about that song the other day. That's really mean, actually.
All right,
All right.
shall we go?
Yeah, let's go.
All right.
I won't start talking about bad songs now.
Fucking.
I'm going to press the stop button.
All right.